everybody, and welcome back to day 19 of the Friesian Experience Christmas Countdown, whereby I will of course be introducing myself. Now then, as there is nobody to interview me but me, I'm going to have to perform a self-interview, so... So, I'm going to have to perform a self-interview. So, sorry, Holly, when did you start coming here and doing the work that you do with the horses? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, I've been coming here since I was 4 years old, so it's really, really cool because I've grown up with most of the guys here. I've known Hida and Hoitze since they were 3-year-old stallions. I've known Jolanda, Ineke, Joukje ever since they were babies because they're our homebreds and they were born here. I've known Renske since she was a 3-year-old, Annie since she was a yearling, and Renske is now 18 for reference, Anya's now 14, 15, Hida and Hoitze are both 21, so it's been really, really cool. And I've seen this place basically I've seen this place through every single stage of its growth so far, which has been such a journey, and we've still got many, many more incredible things to come. But I have to say, it's been such an honour to grow up alongside these guys, and it's the upbringing I hope for my own children to have one day. So, what exactly do you do here on the farm day to day? What you do? Well, that's a very good question. What do I actually do here? A lot of the time, I'm not quite sure myself. Everybody here, we all have quite varied job roles, varied day-to-day things that we need to do, because the nature of this place is there's not necessarily all the correct tools or even all the correct people kind of for the jobs. Like, we don't have a maintenance man, which means that we all have to get a bit stuck in with that from time to time. We don't have someone that does all of our social media, so Exhibit A. We do a lot of that ourselves. Tracy and I, Jodie as well, we all get stuck in doing a lot of that and keeping that all up to date. But my day-to-day role is looking after the horses, making sure they're all happy and healthy. I also have my kind of individual ones that I work with. So I have Hannes, I've got Joukje, I've got Jolanda now, so that's really exciting. Would you like to, talk us through how you get assigned, horses to work with? Well, the horses we all have here to work with, it's not necessarily a case that they've kind of been divvied out between us all, like we've just written them down on a sheet of paper and gone, yeah, that's mine, that's yours, da-da-da. They've all just kind of come to us. So I got Joukje because she wasn't a ridden horse anymore and she needed some kind of mental stimulation. So she came to me, and we've had quite the learning adventure together. She's taught me an awful lot about how to handle and manage your own energy levels when working with and training horses, because she can be rather challenging to work with. So she's taught me an awful lot. As for Hannes, his training program isn't necessarily progressive. It's just a case of doing enough to manage him, keep him ticking over, keep him loose, keep him supple and keep him happy. Because if we just threw him out in the field and he didn't do anything, because he's quite a tight, tense horse, he just kind of seizes up and goes tight. So every now and then he needs to stretch, and he goes on little hikes once, twice a week just to keep his mind active. He's the horse that needs to be going out and doing different things. And as for Yodel, I've got the opportunity to work with her within the last year, just because she's going to be one that we can help each other out. I can help her become looser and more supple and strengthen her up through her body, and she's going to be one that teaches me how to ride them more in the saddle. So it's really, really cool, and it's very, very special as well, being able to know that the horses we work with here, we will be working with them for the rest of their lifetime. So that's a very, very incredible thing. So you said you've been here since you were 4. What's it been like for you seeing the place, grow and evolve alongside you growing up? So it's been really fascinating for me growing and evolving alongside this place, because again, as we referenced in Tracy's video, this place doesn't have a business plan. It always just grows and evolves depending on who's here, the horses we have, what's going on, the funds we have coming in. And it's not like I'm here to specifically fulfill a job role. My job role has basically been, it's customized to me, I suppose. Like, rather than me having a job role, the job fits me. So the more I've kind of grown up and the more I've learned, and then the more I'm able to do. So once over, all I did was effectively the horse's day-to-day care. Then I began learning, how to groundwork them and train them, which I learned with Xiao, learned a bit of riding with Hannes. And then now I've kind of got the base there with those two. That's now where I have Yodel. So I'm working with her alongside working with Xiao and Hannes at the same time. So I've got those three. And it's like now I'm a bit older, I'm able to take out the horses tours now. So I do those. I can also, obviously, as I'm videoing it right now, I do some of our social media as well, YouTube. And I'm hoping to get TikTok going a bit more and Instagram in the new year, so I can do a bit of that. But as I've already said, everyone here just does a bit of everything, and my job role will always grow and change depending how I grow and the skills I learn, and then how those skills can be transferred into what I do here. And it's the same with all of us. It's like if I was to leave here now, someone wouldn't be able to straight up replace me. It's not like if you had, I suppose there's some job roles out there that if someone leaves, you just get them to do a replacement and they just do exactly the same thing that that person did. But here, it doesn't work like that because it's such a unique place and everyone's role within it is so unique and bespoke to them. This place, there's no setup quite like it anywhere else on this earth, and I can sit here and confidently say nobody else would be able to replicate what Tracy has done here. And what Tracy has done here, also no one would be able to replicate her, the horses, or any of us, or this place, which is of course a 16th, 18th, 17th century farm. So it's very, very special. We're preserving a piece of British history. We're diversifying it at the same time, and I'd like to think that this will still be going in 100 years' time when everyone here is dead and 6 feet under, if we're lucky, chances are we'll just get cremated, and there'll still be someone carrying after this place and having horses long after our day, because that's always been the view here, that we'll keep on growing it and evolving it, and it can just continue forever until everything explodes and the world ends. So that is the long-term goal here at the Friesian experience. So that's how the business is all growing and evolving alongside all of you. It's fascinating to know. But do you have any personal or goals of your own within what you do here? I guess personal aspirations alongside the group goal? Yes, definitely. I definitely do. I love doing what I'm doing right now, making the videos, and I definitely hope to improve my media skills and my presentation skills within that, because they're still not as refined or as clean cut as they need to be. So I'm continually working on that. I'd love to be able to learn more about marketing and the media aspect and how we can kind of interlink everything kind of digitally to grow our online following and amass more followers, so we can share this place and these guys with as many people as possible, but B, so that we can try and monetize our social media more to make to help increase the income, because this place, it takes an awful lot of money to run, and that's a massive group effort there doing the media. Tracy does most of it, I do bits here and there. We also have Georgia Kitchen, who's helping us out too, and Jodie does bits as well, and Freya. So it's a massive group effort, that aspect of this enterprise. So that's definitely something I'd love to learn more of. I think especially in today's modern world, it's definitely a skill that you can't go wrong with learning, because let's face it, technology, better or for worse, depends how you look at it, depends how you use it. It's here to stay. So that's definitely a worthwhile skill for me to learn and progress in the future. And as for horse related things, I always just want to be able to grow alongside them and learn to work with them and train them and understand them to the best of my ability. And I guess just improve my technical and generic knowledge, because there's still things now that, Tracy, she's had 50 plus years of experience, and So there's still things that she sees that I don't. So it's very, very important that I learn as I get older and more experienced to see those things, because one day it might be me doing what she does. So I need to learn to see every little thing. For example, sometimes I'm not quite as good at recognizing slight irregularities or slight lamenesses in the horse's movement. Like, don't get me wrong, if something was horrifically wrong, I would know. But just the slight niggles that Tracy can see from a mile away, I can't yet quite recognize. So that's just something I need to work on. But I think I do have quite a good perception of, knowing all the horses personality wise and character wise, and I can always recognize if there's kind of something wrong within themselves. So that's important. But no, it's just, I guess it's just learning to be the best version of myself, always growing and evolving in a person, and helping bring the best out of the horses. But more than anything, I'd love to definitely progress at Liberty work and stuff like that, which I haven't been doing so much of recently because there's so much other stuff to be done, but it's definitely a skill I'd love to learn, and how to truly connect and understand them on the greatest level that I possibly can. This year especially has probably been the most experimental period for you guys so far. You've kind of done things here that you've never done before, like the open days, the beach walking. How do you think that's working out, and are you excited to do things like that in the future? Yeah, absolutely. The open days were a massive hit, a massive success, and they're great fun to do. And the horses adore them as well, because they basically have, however many people we have, I think we had turnouts of 100, 150 at both here, giving them attention. And they are incredible, because not only is it lovely for us to do here, it's also really nice to be able to provide our visitors and that attend the open days to be able to come and access all of the horses at a slightly more affordable price, which is absolutely amazing. So those are great fun. And this, 2024, we want 250 people plus at these things, okay? Although, by the way, if we do get 250 people plus at these events, yes, we only have one toilet, so you might have to go and pee in the bushes, because I'll be in that most of the time, because I might only be 19 and not 90, but I do have the world's weakest bladder. It's honestly, it's not good. Moving on, the beach walking as well, that was absolutely incredible, because I know many people are like, oh, I'd love to ride and gallop a black horse down the beach. And it's lovely to do, and sometimes we do it ourselves, but if we were to have beach rides here like we used to several years ago, it wouldn't benefit the horses, because people wouldn't necessarily ride them in the correct way. They'd let them, just kind of go onto the sands and do whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong, we did have some absolutely amazing riders out on the beach, but not everybody would necessarily ride the horses in the correct way. And, cantering about on the beach, it can be quite a lot for them. So that's why we don't offer that anymore, because it wasn't doing them any favours. Whereas the beach walking, it's so lovely, because the horses just get to go out there and relax and have a nice time. There's not going to be anything asked of them. And I think as well as human beings enjoying the experience, in many ways it's even more special than riding them, because you're on, you're by their shoulder, you're by their side, you're kind of sauntering alongside them on the sands, and it's so special because you can look into their eyes and you're there with them on their level, which is something very, very magical indeed. And I think you can definitely feel their presence more because you're alongside them. And you get to do them you get to let them you get to watch them do things like having splash in the gullies, and it's just so lovely because we do it as a group thing as well. So you get to be there alongside other Friesian enthusiasts, and it's a real kind of sharing of the passion for the horses alongside the horses and the experience themselves. So that's been absolutely amazing. And going back to this year being probably one of the most experimental so far. Ever since COVID, we've drastically changed what we've done. Therefore, our audience has changed quite a lot. The types of visitors we get has changed quite a lot, and it's just so lovely to see that what we do now is going down so well. Because pre-COVID era, we offered a load of riding. And that wasn't actually, I know sometimes people ask, well, why don't we offer riding anymore? And it's because it didn't benefit the horses because people had come along and ride them in different ways, different aids, different cues. Not everybody had necessarily ride them in the correct way. For example, when Hanish used to be ridden by lots of different clients, he'd go lame every couple of weeks. Whereas now it's just me working with him and hacking him twice a week alongside a bit of groundwork. He hasn't been lame. Touch something wooden here. A pot will do. The wood and it's wood. he hasn't gotten lame in the last couple of years. So that's incredible, and it just goes to show that giving them the consistency of one trainer definitely helps them out, and Renska as well. Because people had come along and not necessarily ride her in the right way. She actually grew, kind of developed slightly uneven muscle mass in her shoulders, whereby one shoulder, due to the muscle mass in it, grew slightly bigger than the other because she wasn't using her body correctly. Therefore, she was kind of compensating through it in the wrong way to accommodate all the different riders. Whereas now it's just us working with her. She's an older lady and she's still not quite as level or as supple as she should be, but she's definitely better than she was. And also she's happier for it. Renska, she's 18 now, she'll be 19 next year. And it was getting to the point where actually she no longer appreciated having lots of different people on her. They all love having that consistency. And that's not to say that other horse places out there that do offer lots of riding to lots of different people, they've obviously got the correct horses to do that. some horses and ponies can cope with that fine and they love it, which is great for them. But our guys prefer the more one-to-one training. However, attention, they love receiving that from everybody. They love being loved by thousands of different people, but it's just the training and the riding that is best kept consistent. But the attention, the more of that, the better, definitely. So as I was saying, it's been so lovely to see. Now we offer less riding, more kind of, I guess, I don't want to call it therapeutic, but you could argue in some ways that's what it is. And just being with them in such oasis of nature, it's incredible. And I'm so lucky and so proud to be part of that. Things like, talk us through your relationship with Tracy you have here at the farm, because I think for you, you two, you do have quite a unique dynamic between you both. Yeah, Tracy and I, we have a very unique dynamic between us both. I think to some people, perhaps if you didn't know us, or it was the first time you'd seen it, I think there have been a few people that have thought maybe I'm being a bit disrespectful towards her, which I would never do. But it's just how we are alongside each other. I take the mickey out of her quite a lot. I say horrible things to her quite a lot, but it's all done in a light-hearted, joking way, and we'd never say anything horrible or depreciative to one another and mean it. It's just how we are, and we've always been like that, really. It's just how we get on. But no, I'm very, very lucky to have a boss like Tracy, because there's no one better out there to work for, and it's so nice to have your ideas taken on board and taken seriously, really, because there's many bosses and managers out there and people in leadership positions that wouldn't for 1 second consider taking anyone else's ideas or perceptions into consideration. So everything that happens here has near enough always, 99% of the time, had all of our input in it. It's not just Tracy and Tamara, it's kind of had ideas from all of us. So even though they're the ones that eventually put it into place and make the magic happen, it's always been kind of all of us together thinking of different things. So that's really, really cool, and something that's really, really special. And it is for you, your personality, your demeanour. You're quite a playful person anyway. Yeah, I think I can be. I'm kind of quite a light-hearted person, and even though a lot of the time I come across like I don't take things seriously, I do deep down, and I take everything I do here very seriously, like the welfare of the horses and providing our visitors with the best possible experiences, and I love doing that as well, by the way. But I just don't go about it in a serious manner. I describe myself as seriously not serious, and I do everything in my life seriously in an unserious way, because I believe that even when something is serious, unless it's somber, you don't have to be serious about it. However, I know when the time and the place is, and should I need to be professional, then I absolutely will be. I can be serious when necessary, especially if we're taking horses to a wedding or we've got a photo shoot and it's the type of place where traditional professionalism is required, I can do that as well. And I think for me, that's the other incredible thing about this place is we really can do it all. A lot of the time, day to day, we're disgusting. This time of year, the horses are disgusting as well. But I guarantee you, if we do have something clean cut, like a wedding or a photo shoot, the horses will be absolutely immaculate, and as will we, because that is how we will show up to the world. But day to day, there are times where everything here is vile. But if there's a special occasion then that we need to rise to, we always rise, and there will be no other horses on this earth who are better turned out than our guys when it comes to stuff like that, as we take great pride in what we do and making them look pretty. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on our cheers. No, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure, as has been making this entire Advent series, and thank you so much to everyone that's following along. And I hope you're enjoying it and that you've learnt more about the horses. You're going to learn more about us now. And I think it's quite nice that we've got the two different dynamics within this. Like the horses, they've been kind of more fun and more lighthearted and more playful. Whereas now with the humans, we've kind of moved on to a little bit more, I don't want to use the word serious, but I guess more informative in a slightly different setting and dynamic. So I think it's really nice to get multiple aspects in there. And there's nothing I love to do more than, alongside being with the horses themselves, is creating things like this and sharing them worldwide, because they need to be shared as far and as wide as is possible, because they are all magic in equine form. Magic in equine form, ladies and gentlemen. That is exactly what all of our horses here are here at the Friesian experience. Woo! Bye-bye. Horses here are definitely magic in equine form. And we love sharing magic with all of you. So thank you so much for joining me here today for my own section of the Advent calendar, even though I will have been in all 25 episodes, which means that you'll have watched 25 videos this month with me in them. But we are closer and closer to Christmas each day. And now there is only 6 days to go till the big day. So until then, enjoy the remainder of our videos. Tomorrow I'll be bringing you an interview either with Jodie or Tamara. Not quite sure which one yet, but it will be one of them. You know, it's not because I'm unorganised at all. It's because I like to leave you with the element of surprise and suspense. So I will leave the next person, the next victim, to come and sit in these chairs unbeknownst to you until it airs tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining me. And there is only 7, 6, 5 more sleeps to go till Christmas. Woohoo!